The Essence of Beauty. Chapter 1. Outer Look and Inner Beauty. The essence of beauty: look good and have inner glow. The essence of beauty is an X factor or spiritual aesthetic vibe. A sense of wholesome goodness. For some people, a sense of sauciness, friskiness, the bad boy, the cool exotic evil dangerous adventurous vibe. A charismatic or unique look. An aura of fun. Facial beauty. Facial imprint: your resting face reflects your inner emotions. A healthy glow. There will always be a discussion about the philosophical basis of outer superficial beauty versus the inner beauty of the soul. People are hooked on outer look. They think it matches the soul, but it certainly doesn't. Most good-looking women and men have horrible personalities because they're vain due to their looks, which fades in everyone by 50. Even though everybody ages and gets ugly, the culture of beauty is always there. Young people and old people worship it. We all judge anyone we meet in about 3 seconds based on their facial look and their body. All outwardly beautiful young women with vain, uppity personalities pay the price at some point in time because they alienate people and often end up alone, not so hot anymore as they age, because every day, there's a new crop of fresh young girls out there in the market, so to speak, looking for guys, looking good for whatever opportunities they can get out of their looks. Age can't compete with youth for sex appeal and beauty. What is true feminine beauty? I feel that I know it when I see it. Many women are blessed with natural outer beauty, which has 2 components as far as I'm concerned. 1. The face. 2. The body. In the face, some women have striking looks, but if they don't have beautiful souls, it reverberates there. Your resting expression indicates the type of person you are. Over time, this expression becomes your permanent face, which is why I can tell who looks happy in a relaxed way versus the girls with anger, sadness, or a beef with the world written on their faces. They have scowls on them. Look at yourself in the mirror with no expression on your face. You can see how other people see you. If you want outer beauty, you have to take care of yourself physically and mentally. Aging is the curse for beauty. Beauty is a large measure of a woman's worth in society, so you're gonna lose your outer beauty as you age. You can't help gaining weight as you age. A part of it simply that testosterone production goes down for men and women. Testosterone help keeps your body tough and tight. I've known a few over 50 girls that I would say I was physically attracted to, but you can't fight aging. Oscar Wilde wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray to talk about vanity and aging. Aging will make the vain person humble because you can't fight it. King Solomon in the book of Ecclesiastes cursed aging. You have to live in the real world, know what's going on, and focus on living the best life you can with what you got. The curse of living is that you get old, ugly, fat, your friends die, and you lose your health. Forget about looks after 50. Focus on staying alive and healthy. There's a quote I read that said a woman needs a good retirement plan after 40. Chances are your parents have passed on. You can't rely on men simply by the law of human nature. Every married man goes through a midlife crisis. I've known seemingly honorable men who divorced their first wives out of the blue just because they met a young girl who was interested in them, probably because they had some money and offered a more secure lifestyle than a younger guy could. Beauty to me is not skin deep. I look for someone with a beautiful soul that shows in the face, that glow of inner beauty. For vain, beautiful girls, it's all about them. It doesn't matter what I say, the beauty industry has already got its hooks into you. How can it not? When I watch TV, a good percentage of the commercials are geared for women's beauty, hair coloring, beautiful hair, cosmetics, jewelry and trendy clothes. And how about all them makeover type shows? Makeovers don't do anything to change a person's soul. True beauty is being the person you were born to be with abandon. That's what my free spirit books are about. I've written articles about how coloring your hair tells the world you're in disharmony with yourself for doing something that fake to try to enhance your look when all it does is make you look like trailer trash. I've said we could easily solve the world's hunger problem by using the money we spend on hair color to feed poor kids, but every night I still see those hair coloring commercials and think we live in such a lost society. Beauty to me is health, wholeness, naturally good looks and a warm heart. I'm a guy, I go with what I got. I measure myself by what I do, not what I look like. You have to think like this, especially as you get older. You might as well do it now. Sure, it's great to try to look good, but there's that line of looking good as a result of the person you are by how you live, and looking great because you spend an hour a day putting makeup on. Have some balance in your life. If you're looking for a guy, guys know when you've crossed the line from natural beauty to vanity. Many make allowances for a girl who is kinda young because she's just trying to learn where she fits in out in the world, but if I see a 32-year-old dressed to the nines, full of makeup and jewelry, I got her pegged right away, somebody too focused on her outer look. It shows you're too self-centered and superficial. Outer look and inner beauty 1. All that is in the heart is written in the face. African proverb. The most lucrative commodity is a woman's insecurity. Alexis O'Hara, Poetry Slammer. I feel pretty. Maria in West Side Story. I'm tired of all this nonsense about beauty being only skin deep. That's deep enough. What do you want, an adorable pancreas? Jean Kerr, The Snake Has All the Lines, 1958. I want the women to be modest and sensible about their clothes and to dress properly, not with fancy hairstyles or with golden ornaments or pearls or expensive dresses, but with good deeds. 1 Timothy 2, 9. Outer beauty is a certification of health, which means good genes to create babies. In the 1940s movie Flesh and Fantasy, the old wizard gives the girl a mask at Mardi Gras that will make her look outwardly beautiful, but he warns her that love is not concerned with outer look. It's about 2 things. 1. To give without expecting anything back. 2. To create faith and support in another person. Once she helps the guy she likes see that he is better served using his education as a lawyer rather than shipping out to sea, he falls in love with her on the inside, says he doesn't care what she looks like on the outside, but when she takes the mask off, he says she's beautiful anyway. A guy conducts a workshop where he takes photographs of mostly naked women, then gives them a 24 by 36 inch poster of it, whereupon they're supposed to write comments on it about what they feel about their bodies. Most of the women think negatively about themselves, namely they're too fat and their breasts are too small. Hardly anyone is happy with themselves. Is this due to a neurotic society that has brainwashed us to chase unrealistic images of ourselves in the mistaken belief that if we ever get there, we will be happy? With or without outer beauty, the truth is that your consciousness/soul doesn't change much. You have the exact same soul regardless. The formal literature in psychology and conventional wisdom asserts that outer physical beauty equals goodness, warmth, and love, even though in real life, plenty of people with good looks are arrogant, self-centered elitists who think they're better than everybody else. It's true that good looks will get you into relationships with desirable people and get you breaks out in the world, but everybody's physical beauty fades at some point in life, usually by 40. A lot of pretty people can't sustain relationships because they don't have the modesty that makes them truly beautiful. True beauty comes from within. The modern-day fashion, plastic surgery, and cosmetics industries make billions of dollars promoting outer beauty, but it's not about makeup or the clothes you wear. It's about the joy and goodness in your heart. Never forget the statement from the Bible's book of Proverbs, "Beautiful heart makes a joyful face." You have to be happy with yourself regardless of whether your body and facial look are great or not. That's the key to happiness. Love your inner self regardless of outer body, but your inner self will show in your outer body. It can either make it look nice or angry, like a permanent scowl on your face, which many people have. Everybody turns into a prune as they age. All women over 40 simply can't compete with the fresh beauty of young girls, so why try? Accept yourself for you are at any age in your life. Outer look and inner beauty too. It will not be necessary for you to say a word because they will see how pure and reverent your conduct is. You should not use outward aids to make yourselves beautiful, such as the way you fix your hair or the jewelry you put on or the dresses you wear. Instead, your beauty should consist of your true inner self, the ageless beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit which is of the greatest value in God's sight. 1 Peter 3:1-4. It gives a young girl a false notion of beauty, not to mention anatomy. If a real woman was built like that, she'd fall flat on her face. The Female Body by Margaret Atwood, talking about Barbie, the doll. You are not your looks, but does the rest of the world know that? Of all the things that you wear, your expression is the most important. Your biography will become your biology. Poise is being at ease with yourself. Outer look has everything to do with inner beauty. Outer look is based on the face and body, which tell us immediately how primally inspired and healthy you are about life. That's our entire judgment system right there. We read people based on how much youthful spark or lack of it they have to them. Youth and beauty comprise one period of life where you have the grace of flawless vitality, natural good looks and vigor regardless of how much you might abuse yourself, but it passes all too quickly. Then you either go off into chubby midlife mundanity and oblivion, or figure out how to keep that youthful spark, which is what my book A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment is about. It's not facial beauty per se nor the look of the body per se, it's how sparkly you are about life. Granted, some young girls have stunning facial beauty, but this alone can't sustain you if you don't stay physically active and inspired about life as you age. You will eventually wear your life on your face and body. If you've had a sad life, by the time you're 40 the glum expression will be imprinted there. If you stay happy, your face can look sparkly at 80. America is obsessed with looks. Just watch the TV commercials sometimes, especially the one where the girl says I'm worth it, or the one where that supposed celebrity gives a phony pout to the camera, playing with her hair like some frivolous airhead with nothing better to do than obsess over her looks, saying it changes everything, implying that the use of some hair product that rhymes with canteen to get rid of frizzies will transform her life. I've seen hundreds of girls who've dieted themselves thin with pills, colored their hair, poured the makeup on, wore the latest styles and even got cosmetic boobs, yet I still didn't get that sense of true beauty about them because they didn't have the true quality of beauty as a rare and unique gemstone. Beauty comes from within, from the heart. The body is not distinct from the soul. The body is the expression of the soul. How you feel inside is how your body feels, and vice versa. If you want to be an alive, vibrant, sexual human being, you must become aware of your body, take care of it through diet, rest, and exercise, then use it as an instrument of your freedom and sexuality, not to mention that you will be a healthier and happier person overall. The human organism is a unitary whole. You can't have good sex or be a good lover if you're missing a piece of the puzzle. In order to be desirable sexually and to be a good lover, you must have a decent body that you're in control of. It's that simple. Be yourself. Don't wear too much makeup. Ralph Nader wrote a book about the toxic effects of makeup, and I watched a preacher at 3abn.org, the Baptist network, quote from the Bible saying that vanity law makeup is wrong. If you're a truly beautiful person who cares enough about life to take care of yourself, it will show. You don't have to do frivolous, stupid things in the name of vanity, like live for those imposters called fashion and makeup. They've got nothing to do with the real you. If some bubblehead idiot approaches you just because of the clothes and / or makeup you're wearing, then he's a superficial idiot too, just like you. Maybe you were meant for each other. Do not divorce your body from your mind. Feel it, experience it, go with the flow. Learn to relax, breathe easily, exercise, move, walk, dance, swim, do tai chi, etc., develop good posture, meditate, use the 5 senses and savor the feelings, massage yourself, introspect, center yourself, love your body, then use all these insights to become a better lover with your partner. Gaze at each other, talk about your bodies, then massage each other. Dancing to music is one of the greatest sensuous, physical activities around. A good book about women, true womanhood, and cultural brainwash is A Woman's Worth by Marianne Williamson, 1993. Even though I think she's a bit of a hypocrite for trying to come off like a trendy yuppie when I saw her on some TV show. Campaignforrealbeauty.ca. A girl's appearance / the vanity business. It's better to be looked over than to be overlooked. It is only shallow people who do not judge by appearances. The true mystery of the world is the visible, not the invisible. Oscar Wilde. Women are massively brainwashed to focus on their appearance to the point of excess, which violates 3 principles of ladyhood. 1. A true woman of substance is modest and concerned with doing worthwhile things either for herself, for her family or for the world. She is not wasting her life buying different clothes, trying them on, coloring her hair, painting her nails and putting makeup on. 2. True beauty emanates out from within a person. In the book of Proverbs in the Bible, they say a beautiful heart makes a joyful face. You can't fake a truly joyful face, not even with all the cosmetics and clothing in the world. You either have that quality in your soul or you don't, and it shows on the outside. People can sense the type of person you really are simply by looking at your face and your dress. 3. Anyone who spends excessive time grooming and buying trendy clothes gives their true character away when you look at them. An excessive preoccupation with the way you look tells other people you're vain, and vanity is a negative quality because it shows you're a self-centered narcissist who doesn't give a damn about anyone but yourself. A truly noble person is thinking about the problems in the world and how they can help it. They are not thinking about culturing a certain frivolous look or image about themselves. All vain people have an aura of superiority to them, a feeling that they are better than others, and they are engaging in the frivolous pastime of looking good while there is so much need in the world. It reveals your true character, that you're not a good person. You're a brainwashed, self-centered ass who will age and look ugly. Then all the clothes and makeup in the world will not help your cold heart look any warmer. If you're an active, inspired person releasing your natural energy in trying to live a good life for yourself, you will look good naturally without having to try to create a trendy aura about yourself. All enlightened people can tell who's naturally inspired, just being themselves, and who's a fake, frivolous person trying to look good to get some ego boost from others. The whole thing about being enlightened and attracting the right kind of guy or girl is that you don't do anything to attract external attention to yourself by your clothes and makeup. You don't have to. You're fine as is. You feel good inside. You don't have to impress other people with your look. The right people will recognize your true beauty when they see you for the first time. It's got nothing to do with clothes and cosmetics. It's the natural joie de vivre a person has written across their face and body by the way they live. That's the only beauty that registers to people like me. Every night, I watch the documentary channels and the independent movie channels on TV, so I'm thinking to myself that the demographic target audience for these networks must be for people like me, over 40-year-old farts who've seen it all and don't like glitter and flash. We want to see something original, great, and inspired, yet they still have the stupid hair coloring commercials even on these networks. It just goes to show how pervasive the brainwashing effect is, where girls are portrayed as these extremely frivolous people who have got nothing better to do than color their hair. Then they imply that coloring your hair or using a certain shampoo will magically change your life. You'll all of a sudden feel very glamorous, guys will notice you, and you'll meet the prince of your dreams. The TV commercials are so obviously fake, made at such a cheesy, primitive level that I wonder how is any sane girl gonna watch that and be convinced by it, but apparently millions do. The commercials must work because they never end. Yes, girls are brainwashed to aspire to be beautiful and trendy. There's nothing wrong with a girl trying to be beautiful, but there's a point of obsession and overdoing it to the extent that she's all about her outer look. She's not thinking deep thoughts about all the problems in the world and trying to do something about in her own way. She lives in this phony glamorous world created by the media that guys like me can't stand, because I believe it's part of the destruction of good quality people in our society. When a girl gets into this mindset, I don't want to have anything to do with her. I like people of substance who get beyond this phony, frivolous world, and I don't like these people who think there's really such a thing as fashion beyond a massive delusion of trendiness. Advertising has created a silent competition among women as to who's the most beautiful and trendiest in the room. It has ruined the helping sisterhood that should exist among women. Instead of parading around trying to look like proud peacocks, women should be more friendly to each other and less concerned with being all that, looking like some model sashaying down a runway. A woman uses her beauty to attract men and hopefully find a strong, wealthy husband in the bunch. Where many of them mess up is that they accept the definition of beauty corporate advertising has given them, so they color their hair, cake the makeup on, splurge on expensive clothes and shoes, but they don't realize that noble, worthy men see all this as a negative quality of vanity, contrary to what the TV commercials say about how glamorous this stuff will make you look. They can see past this into the soul of a girl because her true soul is written all over her face and her body, and it's got nothing to do with how trendy the dress is that she's wearing. If you're a girl either married or in a relationship, don't tell your husband how you think you're fat when you're not, because it'll just make him mad that he's working so hard and there's so much real need in the world while you're so frivolous that all you can do is think about your imagined weight problem. A billion people on the planet are starving and your problem is that you're trying to lose 10 pounds. It doesn't make any sense. Is it any wonder why people like me turn our backs on the corporate pop culture entertainment culture? Don't complain about how your face isn't pretty enough, how your legs are too fat, or the fact that there are wrinkles on your face. Guys have to hustle out there in the real world. They don't want to hear about your imaginary problems about your looks. If you knew how little people care about your looks unless they plan to have sex with you or marry you, you'd realize why the cult of outer beauty is a big sham scam. The fine line between dressing for vanity and dressing for self-respect. When I was in grade school, I realize now that I had an inner standard back then to dress cleanly, neatly, and nice. I never wore jewelry or anything to make others pay attention to me based on dress, but I was always dressed like the polite middle-class kid. When I went to college, I was exactly the same. I always wore neutral middle-class type clothes. I was never grungy. I never wore t-shirts and sweatpants to school, but I never wore trendy expensive stuff either. You can look nice and neat without drawing attention to yourself based on your clothes. That's the line. You can wear a comfortable pair of shoes or knee-high high-heeled boots. People make judgments on you based on your dress. The judgments I make are something like, there's some kid starving in Africa and this girl who thinks she's hot is wearing $500 boots that are total pretense. Why would I ever want to befriend her even for the possibility of casual sex? Physical beauty 1. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Before going to bed that night, I looked in the mirror above the bathroom sink, and when I saw only my face staring back, and that it would always be this ordinary face, I began to cry. Such a sad ugly girl. I made high-pitched noises like a crazed animal, trying to scratch out the face in the mirror. The girl staring back at me was angry, powerful. This girl and I were the same. I had new thoughts, willful thoughts, or rather thoughts filled with lots of won'ts. I won't let her change me, I promised myself. I won't be what I'm not. Amy Tan, The Joy Luck Club. Many women will try almost anything to improve their looks, such as paying outrageous prices for useless creams and gadgets, getting poisoned sometimes by the chemicals in beauty aids, and live in pain just to look beautiful, such as wear corsets, shoes too tight, high heels, etc., not to mention the time wasted trying to create a facade of beauty or glamour when true beauty is in the essence/aura of a person. It is not affected either way by splashing chemicals on your face. A bit of makeup is ladylike. Too much is tawdry trailer trash. Youth is the elixir the beauty products corporations try to sell to every woman over 28, and they make billions off it, but there are 4 factors that nobody can change. 1. The fact that aging is natural. To accept yourself as you naturally are is divine. To me, it's better than the vain, frivolous aging woman obsessed with your looks. 2. It's not a manufactured youthful look per se that makes an aging woman look good, it's a youthful attitude to life, an inspired, fresh, free lifestyle, not chemicals and clothes. 3. I personally feel I can usually tell when someone has a facelift, uses Botox, or has had other cosmetic surgeries done. It gives the face an artificial tight look. 4. The easiest way to stay young is to sweat through hard physical effort at something for at least a few hours a day, almost every day. Don't be a fool. Don't believe all the stupid beauty claims out there. There are no creams that can enhance bust size. Some chemicals in beauty products are poisonous or at least hazardous to people allergic to them. It's not about dress to impress. It's who you are on the inside that shows on the outside. All the fashions and cosmetics in the world won't do much for you either way. All that crap on TV about makeovers is just reminiscent of a lost society. You don't change your consciousness or your soul by getting some makeup slapped on, a new dress, and some assholes who think they're trendy who are supposedly your makeover coaches telling you to go girl. I can generally read people by their face and body. It's not about the clothes they wear or how trendy they look. It's about the way they carry themselves, the look of joy and peace on their faces, the sparkle in their eye versus a generic, bland look, the look of health and self-respect or lack of it, their nobility and humility as opposed to immature, loud, in-your-face arrogance. Way back when I was a stupid, brainwashed undergrad psychology student, we all had to do an independent study for our third year. I chose the beautiful as good phenomena, the tendency for people to think that good-looking people are morally better and superior to others in most things like intelligence, kindness, wealth, athletic ability, etc., when the truth is that good-looking people can be just as evil as anyone and are not necessarily superior to others in anything. Despite everything we say about it's the heart that counts, beautiful people are thought to be better leaders, better human beings and more special than other people. Studies done where people's faces are flashed onto a screen and the brain reactions of people watching analyzed revealed that the more beautiful the person of the opposite sex, same sex if you're gay, the more your brain lights up and goes haywire. The part that lights up most is the limbic system, which is the primordial instinctive part of the brain we share with animals dedicated to cravings of pleasure like food, sex, recreational drugs, etc. Out in the world of work, men can be as ugly and fat as they want and nobody cares as long as they do their jobs well, but a woman has to be beautiful or at least pleasant to look at in order to be considered successful at life regardless of how powerful they are at work. I know virtually all women are brainwashed by physical beauty and masse because even though I'm a guy, I've scanned several hundred women's magazines over the years and they're always about two things. 1. Be beautiful in looks, enhance yourself any way you can. 2. Be thin. These two factors have created multi-billion-dollar fashion, cosmetics, and weight loss industries all designed to make women always feel deficient no matter how good they look so they can spend their money on frivolous things to try to enhance their look somehow to reach that standard pounded into them by TV commercials and frivolous magazines, and if they're not there, they feel bad about themselves and neurotic about life, all except for one minor category of truly liberated women. Some postmenopausal women, but not all, only a small minority, accept themselves as is, know they ain't gonna be looked on as beauties anymore, so it frees them to be who they really are without feeling self-conscious about their looks anymore. The problem with the capitalist corporate pop culture game of getting women hooked on their looks in order to sell them product when it comes to attracting guys is that guys like pretty, thin girls with big boobs, but they also like wholesome, healthy, and real, not the so-called trendy one with her high fashions, colored hair, too much makeup and her frivolous I'm all that attitude gleaned from the magazines. This is where easily 90% of you are brainwashed to miss the boat as to what constitutes a true nice, noble lady. Some girls smoke cigarettes and take laxatives all in an effort to stay thin, whereas anyone who knows anything about the medical industry knows that smoking is the worst thing you can do for your health and looks. It ages you faster, causing premature wrinkles. It's not all that crap they try to brainwash you with in frivolous women's magazines that attract men. It's a nice girl untouched and unfazed by all of that because it's so rare. When I look at a girl for the first time, I'm asking myself how much does she own herself as a free person being herself versus how much is she a product of her culture trying to look beautiful and fashionable with the trendy clothes, too much lipstick, the nose ring, the colored hair, etc. The magazines are paid for by the advertisers from the so-called beauty industry, which is why just about all the articles are about beauty. They want you to spend your money and be a brainwashed clone, but this is the big fallacy, these things turn guys off. They like the look of sleazy, slutty, made-up girls trying to look trendy for sexual arousal, but as far as love goes, most, or at least me, really aren't interested in the pop culture clone trying to be trendy and cool. The deception of the corporate cosmetic industry is that they sell stupid, frivolous products to women they've brainwashed into thinking that these superficial things will make them more beautiful, but they really just cheapen them. The colored hair, the painted nails, the overdone eye makeup, the perm, the fake eyelashes, etc. look good for a porno movie set or a vamp in a music video trying to act like a pop star, but as revelations of true, inner character, they're horrible to a guy like me who believes being natural, unpretentious, and unassuming are high virtues, quite rare in the search for beautiful souls. I presume you try to beautify yourself to attract men, or at least to attract compliments and leering looks to build up your ego, but the catch is that men are born with instincts wired into them that say, I want to reproduce with the youngest, most wholesome, healthiest, and sincere, honest, and nice females I can find. Beauty is really just another word for health. A man is looking for a healthy sex partner. Her youthful beauty tells you she's healthy. It doesn't have anything to do with all that cosmetics crap out there, it's your youthful vitality that counts. Artificial breasts will make you more attractive because men are particularly attracted to that curve, but anything else won't really help you all that much. Hair color makes you look cheap, painted nails are kinda frivolous, eye makeup makes you look sexy, but it's a slutty type of sexy, not a wholesome type. If you want love or to be seen as beautiful by men and other women, you gotta live such that you radiate a healthy glow in your lifestyle and attitude towards life from the inner core of your being. Facial beauty or ugliness is something you're born with. It's out of your control, therefore it's neutral value-wise, neither good or bad, yet we all know that beautiful people generally get preferential treatment except for the backlash where people do bad things to them because they're jealous. If you got it and flaunt it, you're a fool because it's frivolous, skin deep, and will fade in due time. If you're pretty but try to accomplish something of substance rather than just rely on your looks, you're living life the right way, not trying to think you're superior because you're supposedly so beautiful. The one thing you can do to change your face other than cosmetic surgery is to exercise and eat the right foods such that it's lean and chiseled and you have hollowed-in cheeks such that your cheekbones stick out. This is a universal signal of beauty because it signifies you're healthy, unlike the chubby puffy faces we see on most people in our society who rarely exert themselves intensely physically despite the fact that there are thousands of gyms and exercise machines around. It's trendy to say you're into physical activity, but how many people live it as part of an inspired lifestyle rather than just use it as an unpleasant means to an end? Beauty can attract people to you if you've got a nice face and body when you're young, but once you pass about 35, your looks go somewhat so. If you've got a bitchy, uppity personality, don't expect your outer beauty to get you what you want anymore. Men will simply go after the younger ones. Physical beauty too. Nature's pride, fresh and fair and unacquainted with the miracle of physical love. Her beauty was not made of shapes and forms, but shined from within like the stars. Don Juan de Marco. I'm of the belief that inner beauty creates outer beauty. You have to be beautiful on the inside to be truly beautiful on the outside. If you have outer beauty without inner beauty, you give off a phony, empty kind of vibe which equals nothing, because a pretty face and a nice body without a feeling of niceness or warmth is useless, which is why all those bleach blonde cosmetic tit chicks do nothing for me emotionally except to want to have empty sex with them. I feel no inherent warmth or niceness coming from them, so I'm not attracted to them as people I like for being who they are. In fact, whenever I see roots showing through, the words phony, superficial, and brainwashed immediately enter my mind. I've watched obsessive women on talk shows say they wouldn't even put the garbage out without makeup on, and a pregnant one who put her makeup on before she went to bed every night in case she went into labor and went to the hospital. You've all been brainwashed by frivolous women's magazines and cosmetics companies who want you to buy, never satisfied with your alleged beauty, when the facts are that true beauty comes from within, and the people out there that you think are looking at you and concerning themselves with how beautiful or ugly you are really aren't. They're more worried about how they look rather than how you look, so we got a society full of a bunch of self-centered women and some men walking around, each in a world of their own creation, worrying about how they look with nobody giving too much of a damn about how anyone else looks but themselves. This is where the culture of vanity perpetuated by the illusion of media glamour and the cosmetic commercials has brought us. In my book A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment, I defined one of the factors of the anatomy of the soul as the body as the temple of the soul. I'm not talking about these vain over-the-top girls you see on trashy talk shows flashing their cosmetics boobs. I'm talking about taking care of yourself physically by not overeating, getting some exercise and living a balanced life. The beauty and reverence you hold for life is reflected in your body. As far as facial beauty goes, your soul radiates through your face. You may have been born with good looks, but your biography will become your biology, meaning the way you live your life will eventually become your face. You will have a few years of grace during youth, but I've seen hundreds of once beautiful girls who got fat, wrinkled, or just developed permanent scowls on their faces from a life not well lived. I looked at photographs of some of them from 10 or so years ago, and the way they look now, you'd never know they were once stunning beauties. The way you live your life, the way you feel all the time forms a permanent imprint on your face. It's very easy to tell the truly happy people from the phony vain ones. Happiness is beauty, it's that simple. It's in the eyes. I've seen older women with beautiful eyes which made their faces beautiful. I've seen people with faces not considered beautiful who looked beautiful to me because they had a presence of soul in their eyes and a happy glow in their faces. I don't buy into that phony cult of celebrity thing with the entertainment industry and those stupid celebrity gossip magazines. That's all crap. Truly beautiful people don't go around trying to flaunt it, posing as if they actually have the vanity to presume to be one of the 50 or so most beautiful people in the world according to some stupid magazine, while people in Africa are worrying about where their next meal is coming from and kids are starving to death today, yet we're obsessed with these meaningless things while we're perfectly aware all this stuff is going on. No wonder we live in a lost society out of balance with the karma of the world. In my opinion, we have a phony cult of beauty created by the entertainment industry, gossip columnists, tabloid TV shows, tabloid newspapers, cosmetic commercials and frivolous women's magazines who use so-called celebrities and supermodels as fodder in this illusion they put forth about some cool, glamorous crowd of beautiful people out there having a great old time, while the rest of us plebeies get to watch and envy, feeling inferior because we weren't blessed with superior genes, so we're not there, part of it. If you buy into this game, you're the idiot for allowing yourself to be manipulated like this. I have my own standards of beauty, and it doesn't come close to all those bleach blondes with their tired roots showing through, their phony smiles and their cosmetic tits, or anybody else trying to act frivolously fashionable. I'm a real human being. I like real people without any frivolous pretensions to them whatsoever. If you pierce your tongue, you're sending a message to me that you're such a brainwashed lost soul that you had to go out and mutilate a basic part of your anatomy to give off the impression to others that you're a cool, adventurous human being, but to enlightened minds, you're just giving off the impression that you're stupid and lost, conforming to the current definition of cool. Be a noble person within yourself by your own standard. Answer to yourself only. Don't play anybody else's game. Particularly don't allow yourself to be miserable by trying to fit into a standard that's not the real you. Physical beauty will fade in all women, so if you've got nothing inside, you will have nothing left once your age starts to show. Try to look nice, but don't dwell on it. Focus on what you do, not on how you look. Physical beauty 3. Beauty starts from the inside. Trendy on the outside, empty on the inside. There are no ugly women, only lazy ones. Helena Rubinstein, My Life for Beauty, 1966. Is it too much to ask that women be spared the daily struggle for superhuman beauty in order to offer it to the caresses of a subhumanly ugly mate? Germaine Greer, The Female Eunuch, 1970. I've never met a woman who thought she was beautiful, and I've met a lot of women. Gay hairstylist. Beauty is portrayed as both a source of grace/feminine charm and a source of sexuality, where women are perceived as sex objects. Feminine beauty is a double-edged sword for women, both as a source of power over men and as a source of neurotic anxiety. If you don't have it, that's a double strike against you. Why do you think the cosmetic and clothing industries are so lucrative? One of the most popular types of books are the weight loss books, which are all a sham because weight loss is a matter of 3 factors and a bit of common sense. Eat less. Exercise more. Love life more than you love food. We're bombarded at one end to be nice people on the inside, yet the TV culture focuses totally on the frivolous, super thin, highly made up girl as the ideal, leaving many women to get miserable when they gain a few pounds or hit their mid-30s. What's a gal to do? I live for the spirit that I feel within me. Food is functional. You have to develop that kind of attitude about food and get away from using it to fill the emptiness you feel in other parts of your life. Many women also use other addictions to compensate for the emotional emptiness in their lives, like booze, shopping, Valium, supermom, codependence, diet pills, compulsive exercise, drugs, bingo, and anorexia/bulimia. Eating should be an act of will. You decide to eat less, so you eat less and don't develop a deep psychological neurosis about it. It's a fact, people respect fat people less. You have to make firm decisions and commit to them. In the final analysis, you have the power of choice. Accept your body, accept your beauty. Choose personal power. Black women accept their bodies more than white women. Get a clue, accept your body and strive to be a more energetic, vivacious person. Let your inner light shine through. It will make a lot more impact than your obsession with your weight. Within the mainstream society at large, physical beauty is defined as an attractive face and a well-proportioned slim body. It's a universal source of invisible power wherever you go because it represents an aesthetic, a thing of beauty, rarity, coolness, niceness, goodness, and innocence. Something about physical beauty transcends normal mundanity. We seem to equate it with a higher quality of life, that people who are physically beautiful are somehow living happier lives, that they're somehow one step above the rest of humanity. Everybody generally evaluates everybody else on physical look, men and women alike. Physical beauty to me is a glow, a spring in your step, a nice gentle face and a nice body, not too skinny or too fat. We automatically treat beautiful people better than we treat others, all the way from babyhood on through to old age. We smile at them more, like them more, give them breaks, freebies, jobs, etc. We befriend them more and want to be around them, but this is the fallacy. You can be born with great looks and a good body, but beauty is only skin deep. It really is what's inside that counts, because over time, what's inside will shape your body and face, i.e., your biography will become your biology. Natural beauty alone might sustain you until about 35 if you're a light eater, but unless you actively exercise, eat right and live a happy life, the wear and tear of life will destroy your youthful looks. In my observations of people, I've noticed that we as a race generally treat attractive people better, but not really that much, because it's a money business-oriented world where function is king. What can I do for you? What can you do for me? Who really cares about someone sitting pretty doing nothing unless you can get something out of them, like sex, love, or to be seen with this beautiful person to enhance your popularity rating? Beautiful women make porno movies, so what? Ain't nobody out there that dazzling that I'm going to come crawling on my knees to anyone. I personally don't care what you look like unless I plan to have sex with you or marry you. To me, a soul is a soul. They're all equal despite the outer wrapping. If we have a meeting of the minds in whatever it is we're doing, I don't care how ugly or pretty you are. I know that all people have the same basic emotions, so ugly or pretty, you're just another human soul to me. Show me something original from your soul and I will respect you way more than I give a damn about all that dye in your hair and that makeup on your face. Men are vain to a limited extent, recognize handsome looks in other men and either respect it or are jealous of it, but women take the cake because they're judged almost exclusively on physical beauty all their lives. It doesn't matter if they're smart, wealthy, creative, original, or funny. The outside world, meaning men and what I've gathered about the collective soul of women, both judge women by looks, and women play a silent game with each other based on who's the prettiest and slimmest in the room. This invisible standard is devastating to many women because it puts the feminine physical ideal into one mold, and if you don't fit it, you're somehow uncool, not quite with it, not as popular as the others. It's a double-edged sword. There's nothing uglier than someone with outer beauty being a high and mighty, vain, and empty bitch. A lot of women play that game and get what they want from dumb guys, but smart guys know an ice queen or a phony bitch when they see one. If you were blessed with physical beauty, sure, look nice and take care of yourself, but don't flaunt it and think you're better than everybody else. Do something useful and functional with your life. Don't just sit there, get a boob job and try to make it on that alone. It's so useless, phony, and empty. Remember the line in Kipling's poem, "Nor look too good or talk too wise." If you look good and feel good inside, good for you. You don't have to announce it to the world by wearing excessively tight, skimpy, or otherwise overly extravagant clothes, caked over with too much makeup, sashaying around like some dumb vamp out of a frivolous woman's magazine or one of them stupid videos by them phony manufactured pop divas out there. Men like nice-looking girls but not phony vamps. As a man, I can't understand the cultural over-obsession women have with what they wear and how they look. I can spot a true beauty right off, and it ain't got nothing to do with makeup or the clothes you wear. I was attracted to one of my soulmates while she was wearing a plain supermarket frock because it was something beautiful about her as a person that I could immediately sense, not anything else. Men are functional, clothes are functional. As long as we look all right, that's as far as it goes. Any guy who reads GQ magazine or has a fair-sized wardrobe has violated the true essence of manhood, to do something worthy with your life, not sit around looking pretty. I personally can't stand girls that are purposely trying to be frivolously fashionable. It tells me they're out of touch phonies who don't know much about life in the real world. Some beautiful women say they're too beautiful to get asked out because guys are intimidated by them. Based on watching dating shows, I've concluded that most women have a higher opinion of their beauty and charm to men than they actually have in the objective sense. After the dates, many said they were above his class, out of his league, so to speak. This is snobbery, a deluded sense that you're so beautiful that you can control guys and they're dying to get close to you. Most guys live in the real world. They will be nice to you, but know there's always another bus around the corner with a whole bus full of new girls trying to look beautiful, so if you think you're extra special, you'd better think again, because people in general hate that vibe. I've known beautiful girls with nice faces who were approachable because they didn't have any pretense about themselves. They were just being who they are. Physical beauty is beautiful if it's paired with a nice soul, not a phony, vain, frivolous one hooked on her self-perception of being a dazzling beauty. As I already said, at my age, no one female is that special to me anymore. There are nice ones around, but beauty's a dime a dozen, it's all interchangeable. People are basically generic, all attractive bodies are equal, any attractive one will do. So I hope most people my age, who I presume are mature, are not affected by a person's looks much either way. I like people who ignore their looks, either good or bad. It's just not much of an issue. I can't stand people who tie their egos up in their looks to the point of absurdity, like eating disorders, overrated trendy clothes, etc. The Arts and Entertainment Network, AETV.com, have a documentary called Beauty in a Jar, which they sell in video format. Chapter 2. The Essence of Beauty. The Mechanics of Beauty. At 50, everyone has the face he deserves. George Orwell, Notebook, April, 1949. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody has their own vision of what a dream person is, and it varies wildly. I've been turned on by girls other guys aren't particularly interested in, and guys have pointed out girls to me that turned them on that did nothing for me. It's the way it is. We're wired with a vision of beauty back around childhood, which is usually someone similar to our opposite sex parent. For what's it worth, a recent poll said that the number one factor for men about women's look was the breasts. Being a man, I can attest to the fact that I value a woman's beauty, her facial beauty, her body, and an undefinable feeling of inner beauty that I must sense immediately if I'm to be attracted to her. For the women, the number one feature of men was the eyes. Most of the attractive features were centered around the face, like hair, small nose, big eyes, etc. Body parts rated high for the men, like the butt, legs, etc., but not so for the women. Biceps only got 6% as the most important feature for women. The most basic facets of women looking good to men are: healthy appearance, the clean wholesome look, healthy skin, glossy hair, eat protein, hair long or medium long, either straight or mildly curly, not frizzy like you stuck your finger into a light bulb socket, breasts average size to large, tight ass, tight legs, tanned face, the blush complexion, good grooming, light scent of perfume or cologne, white teeth, nice clothes, not fashionably frivolous though, dress appropriately for the occasion, moderate amount of jewelry, moderate amount of makeup, smooth, soft hands, manicured nails, pedicured toes, high heels, nice underwear. Everybody wants somebody healthy looking with good skin and no body fat. It's the universal constant around the world. Biologists say it goes back to primitive days when men and women alike searched for mates that would produce healthy offspring. According to some psychologists, attractiveness in both sexes equates to symmetry in the face and a big head with big eyes, small ears, clear complexion, minimal amount of wrinkles and an oval face. According to psychologist Dr. Michael Cunningham at the University of Louisville, who did studies by showing people photos and asking them to rate the people in them on an attractiveness scale, there are two categories of features that attract men to women. 1. Neonate features, features that make a girl look young and childish such that we feel protective towards her, like large, widely spaced eyes, small noses and chins. 2. Sexual maturity and responsive features like narrow cheeks, prominent cheekbones, arched eyebrows, happy smiles, and dilated eye pupils. The sum total, according to his article in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, is someone who is slightly young and helpless though sexually mature and friendly. This is that vulnerability thing I talk about elsewhere, which is why the modern liberated babe ain't exactly setting men's hearts on fire. She's too hard with that I'm in control attitude. People with big heads and big eyes with visible cheekbones are considered attractive in every different society in the world. People with attractive, symmetric faces have sex more and cheat more than others, hence, healthier genes get passed on down. Psychologists have categorized the following as youthful features: a big face, symmetry of the face, big eyes, high cheekbones, rosy, tan complexion, right-sized nose, clear skin. These are the marks of beauty in every culture of the world. They showed babies pictures of people that were ranked on attractiveness and found that babies looked at the universally attractive ones longer. Some facial proportions for facial beauty are: the ideal mouth is half the width of the face at mouth level. The eyes are 1/14 the height of the face and 3/10 the width of the face at eye level. The pupils are 1/14 the distance between the cheekbones. The chin is 1/5 the length of the face. The distance from the center of the eye to the bottom of the eyebrow is 1/10 the height of the face. The total area of the nose should be no more than 5% of the total area of the face. Psychologists went around to a bunch of different cultures in the world and showed them pictures of both men and women. The universal constant for men perceiving a woman to be healthy and fertile was what they called a 0.70 waist to hip ratio, which means that the waist is 0.70 the size of the hips. All men are turned on by this measurement. For women, it's about 0.85-0.90 waist to buttock ratio in men, so the point is that we seem to have some pre-wired scope within ourselves that can detect what's fertile/attractive in the opposite sex. Even though men's preferences to the size of women, thin to fat, change with the times, the 0.70 waist to hip ratio remains constant regardless of the overall size they prefer. According to studies, women seem to generally prefer a feminine face in a man because it's perceived as more friendly, except during ovulation, where they want a masculine-looking man to seed them to pass of good genes. Physical beauty is a person's way of advertising that he or she is virile and ready to create babies, so it's part of the mating game to try to be beautiful to attract an appropriate mate. A part of beauty is health. A man is attracted to a lady who takes care of herself. If you smoke because you think it helps keep your weight down, get strong, quit and take up a real healthy lifestyle. In many psychological studies, it was proven time and time again that physically beautiful people are considered morally superior, more talented and friendlier than others, and often get the breaks in life, although they get the backlash of jealousy and scorn to go along with it, and beauty fades after 40, so it's not a lifelong thing. In conclusion, men are definitely attracted to physical beauty, women are more attracted to the inner soul of the guy and the size of his wallet, although I don't shortchange men. They're not stupid. They want inner beauty just like women do. Blonde, light, fair hair is associated with youth, which could be why men are more attracted to blondes than girls with other hair colors. Check out number 613.71 and number 615.82 at the library for books about body awareness and sensuality. Books about beauty, cosmetics, skincare, etc. are at number 646.70-75 at the library. There are even books for men at number 646.75. General fitness books are at number 611-613. For books about the psychology of beauty, try number 305.42 or BF 201.4 at the library, in particular The Power of Beauty by Nancy Friday. True beauty is love of life. True beauty means only one thing: someone who has taken the genetic seed they were born with to strive to be as strong, free, natural, pure, and loving as they can be without pretense, doing it because that's what they feel within that they must be. Everything else is pretense, bull, vanity, or meaningless. This is why I have contempt for all people who color their hair. It shows how much they don't get it and how much they've been brainwashed by all the crap out in the world. I constantly come across girls with colored hair who are trying to act like deep, profound, conscientious, morally upstanding, noble people when they've already defined themselves by putting that gunk in their hair. It negates everything, reveals how brainwashed and superficial they really are, especially the ones masquerading as Christians. Anything somebody does for image as opposed to who they really are in their soul takes away from their beauty. Nobody needs to drive a Porsche. If you do, it just shows there's something missing inside that you feel you need to project this certain image you've been brainwashed by. No guy needs to wear an earring. If you do, firstly it shows you've been brainwashed by the world, secondly, it shows you're that vain that you're trying to project some phony cool image about yourself, and thirdly it shows you couldn't be all that enlightened, free or stable because you don't understand that being yourself and following your true identity as you really are is true beauty. If you did, you wouldn't wear an earring because it represents the pretentious, pop culture, capitalist world of meaningless glitter, which is all negative. A real man is someone strong enough to be himself, to stand on his own without needing to conform to some phony image of coolness from out there. I don't pretend to like professional sports or violent action movies, but this is the way the sales machine try to define men as, so that they can be a bunch of dumb consumers brainwashed by all this stuff. But is this cool or beautiful? Think about it. What's so cool about watching a bunch of overpaid people play some sport as opposed to doing something with your own life? What's entertaining or redeeming about some movie where some guy gets revenge by killing everybody who wronged him or wronged society? That's the theme of every action movie. Why is America the murder capital of the world? It's not a stretch to figure it out. We're a bunch of brainwashed macho clowns rather than being who really are, sensitive, creative and inspired people. But most of us don't follow our true natures because we've been told it's sissy-like, be a macho clown instead. What's so beautiful about that? Some asshole driving a big Jeep, wearing a muscle shirt, a baseball hat backwards with an earring in his ear, thinking he's a real tough guy. So what? Women who dress to the nines even on an ordinary day aren't being beautiful. They're just being pretentious. It's not like a girl with natural beauty in her character that shows in her face such that it doesn't matter what she wears, her beauty shows through. We live in a brainwashed world of pretensions. There are very few naturally beautiful people left anymore, people who are beautiful because they are following their true natures, being themselves the way they were born. We have a bunch of caricatures running around brainwashed by TV commercials and silly shows. They're all messed up, but the funny thing is that they don't even know it. They think they're cool and beautiful because they're acting like some clone in the latest frivolous magazine, but deep inside they feel the emptiness of someone who doesn't know who they really are, therefore doesn't have that peace and relaxation about their lives. This is one of the big problems in capitalist society these days. All the women and some men are trying to manufacture a beautiful, cool look about themselves based on TV shows and advertising, when they don't realize that if they had the strength and freedom to focus on themselves as the pure individuals they are away from society, they would be so much more beautiful. There are a few beautiful people out there, but not a lot. I find that the most beautiful women are the older ones who have gotten over all the pretense. Of the young ones, very few are strong enough to not get lured into that fake beauty industry out there, such that they're happy pursuing their lives without all the trendy clothes, the makeup, the jewelry, the hair color and the phony attitude borrowed from music videos and women's talk shows. Chapter 3. Beauty products sell lies. Feminine beauty info. Feminine beauty is internal. Remember the statement in Proverbs in the Bible, 15:13. Joyful heart makes a beautiful face, or Proverbs 31:30 that says charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. You're only beautiful while you're young, but your heart stays for life. Free yourself from cultural ideas of beauty and focus on your heart. Everyone ages. By 40, you're no longer considered a young beauty, no matter how well you took care of yourself, so do yourself a favor and focus on developing your soul while taking care of yourself physically, but don't fall for that vampy, cheap look of too much makeup and too many trendy clothes and jewelry. The natural look reveals a finer character than that overdone so-called fashionable look. Don't take your frustrations out on yourself by blindly trying to measure up to the media ideal of feminine beauty, or don't go to the opposite view and give up to live in the fantasy world of food, romance novels, and tabloid gossip to give you a bland sense of comfort to deal with your despair of not measuring up to the cute, bubbly illusions in the frivolous magazines and TV shows, which tend to make us envious and neurotic about ourselves. Don't compete with other women. Be friends with them so that you help empower each other as you go along. The maxim put forth by many of our female gurus of the "you are the beloved, be the queen, princess, goddess that you are" ideology is somewhat deceptive, because it encourages a holier than thou, superior attitude that you expect men to worship you simply by virtue of the fact that you're a woman, supposedly the gentler sex, who drives men wild by your beauty. Don't try to be this trendy, independent babe in full control of yourself if you expect to realistically score with good men. A lot of liberated women go to the opposite extreme of the passive woman complex to be loud, arrogant, unladylike bitches, so go easy on that goddess stuff. You're just an ordinary human being like the guy who wants to ask you out on a date. Don't make it harder on him by being a textbook case of the aloof, independent career babe who's got it all figured out without needing a man to take care of you. If you can't be soft, at least learn to project the image of feminine softness. Men generally prefer simple girls because they give them what they want, female softness without all that profound psychobabble the more modern, so-called advanced girls have. That's not to say dumb yourself down or give up on men, but live your own life first. If the right guy comes along and respects you for your independence and originality, then he's worth it, but if anyone less of a man comes by and romances you with cheap, insincere gestures, think twice before you will compromise who you really are just to be with him. Men would really rather have both qualities, a girl with feminine softness who has enough abilities to make her own way in the world if need be, because the nice soft girl who is the dependent flake drains too much out of the guy, so it's always a middle ground. If you're too bitchy, as many girls are who feel a need to overcompensate for their perceived inferiority in the world, men won't go for it. You don't have to live in drama aspiring to be fabulously beautiful or stay insecure and neurotic as men want you to. Listen to your inner self in a quiet way. Life will still have challenges and foibles as it does for men, but if you listen to yourself, you know you will be living the right life, true to yourself no matter what. Be good to yourself. Take it easy to enjoy your life. You can live an inspired, productive life and enjoy it if you listen to your soul, find something useful inside of you that earns you your keep or helps out your family, and pursue it with a passion. Don't be afraid of disapproval for not knowing your place in this supposedly man's world. This is what the new era is all about, you becoming a liberated woman in full control of your life without worrying about the world out there limiting you in any way at all. Be more like a man without giving up your femininity. It's not a man's job to make you whole. It's your responsibility to be whole, and if you are, the right man and other upstanding men will respect and even admire you for being who you are. By whole, I don't mean some modern-day career girl with a red Corvette and a room full of trendy clothes. I mean an unassuming person with nothing to prove out in the world, with a sense of peace, who is following her true nature by doing good, worthwhile things that inspire her for her life without trying to be the next American Idol or something like that. Pop culture wannabes are a dime a dozen. I like original girls who go beyond that world to try to do something, anything worthy that gets beyond this actress/model, pop culture, trendy thing. Whenever I see a girl proclaiming her interest in being an actress or model, I know that in 98% of all cases, she's not doing it for the inspiration of expressing her passions for the art of it. She's doing it to become a jet-setter and a star, and she won't love any man as much as she loves herself. Books about womanhood are at number 155.3, number 301.427, number 305.4 and number 306.708 or HQ27 to HQ1233 at the library. There are some books about the psychology of women at number 155.3, number 158 or BF637. Inspirational and spiritual books for women are at number 291.432 or BJ1610 at the library. Beauty is not defined by salespeople. There are feminists, Christian housewives, teachers, activists, and people with common sense saying we have to fight to enlighten young girls into knowing that the stuff on music videos, in TV commercials, magazines, and movies is a manufactured view of feminine beauty, often retouched in the editing room. But even if it's not, the models starve themselves into eating Dios orders, get cosmetic surgery, go to tanning salons and spend an hour or more on makeup before every TV appearance. There is an invisible standard of beauty created by the sales industry that sells clothes, cosmetics, jewelry, purses, etc., and anything else that they think a female might think is cool. I don't want to talk about it and beat a dead horse because a lot of other people talk about it all the time, the effects of media on making females feel like they do not measure up to an invisible standard of beauty marketed at them by huge cosmetics and clothing companies, so they end up becoming eternal consumers of beauty products, thinking that the more jewelry, makeup, shoes, dresses and purses they have, the more beautiful they are, which is wrong because you are who you are physically. Stuff can't change that. You can look healthy by living a healthy lifestyle. Beyond that, beauty is in the soul. The ironic thing for me is that as soon as I see a girl with a huge closet full of clothes, colored hair, and all that stuff, she thinks she is being cool like a Hollywood starlet. I think she is a disgusting, frivolous, brainwashed piece of crap. All women like this have elitist, entitled, arrogant, diva personalities. They create the exact opposite reaction from people to what they want. They're not cool. They're self-centered, vain people. Seal Press at sealpress.com sells books by women for women. I saw a sociological type book about beauty at number 306.461 or BF697.5 at the library. They call this section key terms like body image, beauty psychology, feminine beauty, women's self-esteem, women's identity, body image info. Real life is not like life on TV or in magazines. Everybody is glammed up on TV by a professional makeup artist. All pictures in frivolous women's magazines are edited. Images of so-called glamorous women on TV like supermodels are the system's view of what beauty is, which is a tall, skinny girl. Most girls aren't tall. Many aren't skinny. A lot of men don't buy into this version of beauty. I and many other men like curvy, bigger girls. Skinny, tall girls don't really turn me on much. The message of dieting and being thin is blasted at us on TV shows and commercials, while we are also bombarded with junk food ads. Many women buy into society's definitions of beauty, know they will never be skinny enough, so they get depressed. The obsession with body image leads to pathological dieting and/or eating disorders. Americans spend over $40 billion on dieting and diet-related products each year. The cosmetic surgery is a constantly growing business even though it doesn't help you much in your soul. Most women have some form of body dysmorphic disorder, thinking they are fatter and uglier than they really are. The more money a woman has, the more she tries to fit the culturally indoctrinated view of beauty by buying stylish things, getting spa treatments, etc. The wealthier you are, the more likely you are to dislike your body. Body image affects men too. Those pictures on the covers of bodybuilding magazines are all edited. People don't look like that in real life. A celebrity's full-time job is to look good. They pay for trainers, chefs, cosmetic surgery, etc. Oprah Winfrey, with all her money, couldn't buy a moderate-sized body. If you watch TV shows with middle-aged actresses like those Beverly Hills Housewives, you can usually tell when someone has had facial cosmetic surgery. Skinny girls with big boobs have almost always had a boob job. Does all this external stuff make you feel any better? I work out and eat healthy food as part of my lifestyle to feel good, but I don't get my hair styled. I don't buy trendy clothes or anything like that because to me, it's all meaningless external stuff. Learning to love your body is a key to being a great lover. If you are preoccupied with what you look like during sex, it will be bad sex. Feel free to enjoy the moment. You can find lots of fitness books at number 611-613 at the library and healthy cookbooks at number 641. How much is a poor body image related to a fear of sex and love? Fat helps keep possible lovers away. Being comfortably nude comes from sweat equity. What do you need to do every day to be proud of yourself? Bodies smell bad sometimes and do things you can't control, like flatulence. There are some things about your body you can't control, like the physiological changes of aging. It's hard to imagine that you will look like one of those old people you see walking around, but if you don't die, you will. When you're doing sex, forget the self-criticism. Enjoy it. No matter what you look like, sensual contact feels good. You must act confident and cool even if you feel like a fat pig. When I used to work in bars, I noticed the prettiest girls weren't the ones picking up guys. It was the active ones, girls that might not have looked hot but they were open and out there. It's the same thing with your spouse. He doesn't care what you look like half as much he wants you to fondle his cock. Sex with the lights off should be a non-issue. Love your body. Forget about buying new clothes. A physically active lifestyle will shed weight and give you a glow. Try walking, dancing, biking and swimming. With a good body image, you attract other people. Sexiness is about love of life. Live by your own standard. Ignore the fake world out there. Respect yourself enough to keep your body strong and fit. Fat acceptance/fat people activism/size acceptance. Fat acceptance is a two-tiered agenda. 1. Fat people accept themselves as is, know they won't lose the weight so they get on with their lives. 2. Fat people are routinely discriminated against and made fun of. They want people to leave them alone. BBW means big beautiful women. BHM means big handsome men. NAFAglobal.org, National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance. size-acceptance.org. womeasure.wordpress.com. abundancemagazine.com. alt.support.bigfolks. handblank.com. amplastuff.com, they sell stuff. answers.com/topics/national-association-to-advance-fat-acceptance. belgravehouse.com/sizelinks.html, size acceptance links. bigfatblog.com. bigmoves.org, fat dance. bodylovewellness.com. bodypositive.com/resources.htm. casagordita.com/fatacc.htm. casagordita.com/fatacc.htm. cat-and-dragon.com/steph/fat/ffp.html, fat-friendly health professionals. cat-and-dragon.com/steph/fat/ffp.html, fat-friendly professionals. cs.cmu.edu/tilde/sasha/home.html. cswd.org, Council on Size and Weight Discrimination. en.wiki-news.org/wiki/obesity_and_the_fat_kira_eniruskaya_speaks. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/fat_acceptance_movement. eskimo.com/largest/INDD, International No Diet Day. faqs.org/faq/fat-acceptance-faq. faqs.org/faqs/fat-acceptance-faq. fatso.com. Portrayals of fat people in the media and links for better health and fat acceptance. kellybliss.com. livingxl.com. livingxl.com, they sell stuff. nafaglobal.org, advancement of fat acceptance. obesitylaw.com. plus-size-pregnancy.org. plussizeyellowpages.com. radiancemagazine.com. rotunda.com. cfattle.org/fallonks.html. schulersnet.com/jellyroll. size-acceptance.org. size-acceptance.org, International Size Acceptance Association. sizediversityandhealth.org. sizewise.org. socsupport.fatacceptance. socalsafe.org, Size Acceptance for Empowerment. tgpos.livejournal.com, Transgender People of Size. society.gorti.com/issues/health/body-image/fat-acceptance.html. technerati.com/tag/fat+acceptance. yft.com/favorite-things/issues/health/body_image/fat_acceptance. yourplussizepregnancy.com. National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance. POG 188,620. Sacramento, California 95818. 916-443-0303. 916-558-6880. 800-442-1214. nafaglobal.org. Nature's Revenge on Beautiful, Young Women. The normal guy, if he could, would pick one girl who is his vision of beauty at her prime, then clone her or inject her with a mythical fountain of youth drug so she would stay that way forever and never age. As far as men are concerned, who are hooked on feminine beauty, which is the province of youth, all women age and lose that sense of freshness, sex appeal, and youthful beauty. This is the curse all women face, particularly the beautiful ones who base their entire worth on their looks. If you're beautiful and rely on that to get you everything, and you've got a bad, arrogant attitude to boot, which most pretty, young women have, watch out. You'll be sunk past the age of 35 when you're no longer beautiful on the outside, and your arrogant, snotty attitude on the inside will further alienate you from people. I've seen it many times before. Girls don't realize they have a little window of time during their youth when they're beautiful and fresh, then after that, they won't turn heads anymore, so they won't be able to manipulate men like they used to. Most beautiful young girls think they will be beautiful and tight forever. After I wrote this article, I was looking through an article in the National Enquirer called Stars with Cellulite. They had someone in their 27 years old looking bad, but everyone else they had pictures of, who were all over 35, looked really bad. You can make up your face, but unless you exercise like those few female bodybuilders I know, your body's tightness will be gone by the time you're 40. That's nature's revenge. That's why I know all older broads are bluffing. They ain't got the goods, beauty, tight body, to back it up. That's why I know all that phony sex and the city crap is just a big marketing ploy to sell product to older women to try to make them feel better for a minute or two, but you are who you are. Better to work out hard than to buy into some fake pop culture delusion about how happenin' and cougarish you are, because babes with cottage cheese thighs ain't got no leverage to be cougars, and that's reality. Do me a favor. If you got cottage cheese thighs, don't wear skimpy bikini bottoms. It makes you look really skanky like an elephant trying to be sexy. I knew one girl, who was a fake blonde with pretty big boobs. She always dressed like she was half naked, showing her boobs, and she always acted uppity like she was the queen of the world. She felt she was wonderful and perfect and flaunted it. The problem is that she alienated everybody, even people she thought were her friends. This is what happens to all vain people. They alienate everybody. She thought they were all jealous of her. She didn't realize it was because of her uppity attitude to put people down and act superior to them. A lot of vain, self-centered people don't realize how callous they are. They're so egocentric that they don't have the ability to empathize, to feel what other people are feeling, so they go on being abrasive and insensitive until either a group of people gangs up on them telling them how unpleasant they are, or they find themselves alone with no true friends. I don't know for sure what happened to her. She was the friend of a friend. I didn't like her, so I stayed away from her, but I do know one thing for sure. Chances are she was gonna be screwed as she aged. A lot of pretty, young, arrogant women do not marry honorable guys because honorable guys are too smart to marry poison ivy. They marry flashy guys, some with money, who use that as their power in the world, so their marriages are not based on love, and they start to self-destruct as soon as the woman's beauty starts to fade at about 30 and she has a few kids. The guy who's all flash has no loyalty. He's looking for somebody younger. When his image as a cool dude starts to fade out in the world, he gets all messed up and abusive. He dumps her, then all of a sudden this girl who was once vain and beautiful and now isn't, doesn't have a clue. She has no marketable skill, she doesn't know what a mutual fund is, so it's poetic justice. She now has all the problems the regular plebeies have because she is one. A lot of young girls who think they're pretty don't realize how common feminine beauty is in young women. The fake blonde with the big tits and the frivolous, vain personality are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. They have no inner beauty and don't seem to be aware that other people are looking for that quality in a friend or a lover. They think they're the package because they look like all the starlets on TV, the Anna Nichols, the Jennys, the Jessica clones. They all think they're hot on the outside, but they have no aura of sincere warmth to them. Nature will get them all, then they'll be screwed because they thought they'd be beautiful forever and that would be enough, but now they're just another middle-aged frump. The vain ones and the empty ones who never bothered getting a career and thought their looks would get them through life suddenly find themselves alone without the ability to charm their way through anything, since they are now older and look used up. Don't count on your looks to take care of you. I've seen plenty of girls that were hot stuff at 20 but are middle-aged frumps now. All the girls I went to school with who were once hot stuff now look their age. Only the very rare bird with true inner beauty seems to defy her age in her looks. Most women get dumpy. They don't culture their souls, therefore the beauty that may be in their spirits doesn't shine through. Body image websites. Adiosbarbie.com/results, adios, Barbie. discovery.ucat.com/teachers/free-lessons-plans/changes-of-puberty.cfm, discovery education free lesson plans for teachers on a variety of topics, including puberty. thebodypositive.org, the body positive. dove.com/us/en/dove-self-esteem-project/school-work-shops-on-body-image-confident-me.html, Dove self-esteem project. Classroom.kidshealth.org, Kids Health in the Classroom. amitygirl.com, a mighty girl. nafaonline.com/dev2, nafa. thehealthteacher.com/the-puberty-project, the puberty project. about-face.org, San Francisco-based group, combats negative and distorted images of women. livescience.com/health/0701002_facial_features.html. feminist.com. feminist.org. mediawatch.com. nowfoundation.org/issues/health/libdkit, National Love Your Body Day. bodypositive.com. loveyourbody.org. girl.com. mysticarticles.com/body-image-articles.html. uastef.tripod.com. audiosparby.com, body image. Research, action, and information network for the bodily integrity of women, Rainbow. 915 Broadway. Number 1109. NYC 10010 to 7108. 212-477-3318. rainbow.org